Hello, everyone. Thank you for bearing with me. We are back. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, I did not want to do a Q&A live stream for this episode until we did officially reveal the fact that there would be another episode following it, just because I knew that would be the vast majority of questions to receive, and we weren't looking to confirm or deny at that point in time. So again, thank you for bearing with me through all of that. And now maybe we could chat. Maybe we could chat a little bit more freely and openly. Obviously, there's still a bit of a cap on that, but we'll do what we can. I see there's already some super chats that came in even before this started. I don't think I'm able to show them on screen for some reason. The streaming software isn't letting me do it, but I will still read them aloud. Okay. Patricia in OG asked, if Trophy had the chance, would he try and be Knife's friend again? Because out of everyone, Knife is the only person he admires, if I recall correctly. Yes, well, I mean, Trophy does talk about how, like they're both jocks and that they should work together upon first meeting him. But I mean, I think at this point, Trophy, made pretty clear that he lost respect for Knife. He's into Dora the Explorer, or he's like weak. He's letting the Suitcase win, as he says at the start of the film. So theoretically, I don't think he would have like tried to reach out again. I don't think Knife was really interested in that either, or was rather. Yeah, I know we're only speaking in theory, but I think in order to want to be friends with Knife again, Knife would have to do something quite Brutus. Maybe if Trophy saw the way Knife clocked Steve Cobbs in the face, Trophy would be like, huh, okay. Not so weak after all. Yeah, let's team up and take him down. And then I'd be like, I'm working on it with someone else already. Goldboy said Brian is dead in Inanimate Sandy season 2 episode 18. Good guess on the title, Goldboy. Very good guess. I think a lot of other characters are dead. It seems like there was nothing to suggest that the Brian bot that was shown, along with the Adam and Justin bots in episode 17, were perished. That was another thing we wanted to do for a long time. Do bots of us other directors and just be super self-indulgent and really annoying. So there is that. Yeah, but so thank you for indulging us with that. More stream equals more money to spend. Yay. Oh, I know, right? Thank you for your donation, seriously. Okay, Hyphen asks, what do shimmers do in their free time on the ship? That's a great question in terms of world building, because obviously I think we have seen a very limited view of them, to the point that when we do the bit in episode 14, and fans are like, wow, they understand humor, the Prime Simmers are like, of course. We just didn't find you funny, which I've always loved. So it's like, yeah, I think they do. Like, I'm not sure necessarily if they have a stand-up comedy night. Maybe they do, but I feel like they're less like regal and dramatic all the time than their brief appearances on the show would suggest. Like, I think they, maybe have like some fun dinner parties, whatever's their equivalent to dinner, some energy sharing, like I'll gather around and sing some karaoke, I think, I'm sure they have a good amount of free time. We don't know too much about what they do besides, being together as a squad, but they certainly at least have enough time to pursue when they seem to think that one of their own has been recovered. Sometimes it's true, and as we saw in this episode, sometimes it's very much not. I feel like that's another thing that people need to understand, because people are like, I think most people understand it, but I've seen some people be like, what was the sacrifice for that Knife and Suitcase made? And The ship was gonna destroy the Shimmers. They were gonna be, killed. So that was stopped from happening. So I think that was a pretty significant sacrifice. From Dobe Dop. Why did Knife say, I can't protect you anymore? Okay, so to refresh everyone's memory, Knife says this right before time runs out, before the final challenge that Cobbs has created of the fight to the death. He says it sort of as kind of a warning, I guess, to Suitcase, a gentle warning, to which Suitcase responds, I never needed your protection. I think it's because, to me, my intent in writing it was that Knife kind of always has been low-key protecting Suitcase. We only really see this come to fruition for the first time, and perhaps in its most blatant time, in episode 11, Kick the Bucket, when he finally has enough of what the Alliance is saying, or more specifically, how they're treating Balloon and Suitcase as a result of it. And he kind of steps in and says, hey, they're manipulating you. And they did all this on purpose, and now they have an excuse to eliminate Balloon, and and the bonus is it also made you look worse. And that was him protecting her, because you know what? At the end of the day, he was like, gosh darn it, I care. Suitcase has been nice to me. She taught me the random act of kindness, previous episode as well, from that. And he just wanted to protect her. It was like an impulse. The same kind of impulse that he began to have with Mike when he saw Mike potentially being taken advantage of. There's something about Knife when he sees someone truly innocent being taken advantage of, or even just potentially taken advantage of, that kind of sets off an alarm in him. And he's like, nope, don't like that. Nope, not getting away with that. Nope, sorry. I think it's just because he jerk recognized jerk, right? And he's just really annoyed because I think maybe in general his belief in other people is pretty low. So when someone kind of proves themselves as a genuinely kind person, and then they're being exploited by another jerk, he's like, no, stop it. Oh my gosh. Folder, hi Brian, Balloon and Cabby's exit interview. I wish we got to it before they died. I guess, if we ever did something earlier in the continuity, that could happen. I don't know. Is that something people still want? I don't know. But they're dead. The microwave, Silver Spoon plushie, $4.99. Is this something people want? It seems like Silver Spoon has only become more popular over the years. I say over the years. It's really over the year. Well, yeah. Clonny asks, what would a Cabby and Lightbulb interaction be like? Would they get along? If so, what would Painty think given their interactions with Cabby and III? Very interesting question. Yeah, because clearly Cabby seemed to have a at least somewhat similar impression of Lightbulb that Paintbrush did of Lightbulb earlier on in their relationship. But I think a lot of that was informed by the file that Cabby was reading. And it wasn't necessarily what her own opinion on Lightbulb would be. I think she was trying to appeal to what she thought Paintbrush's feelings about Lightbulb were. And she just kind of went in the wrong direction of using the past feelings to inform her approach. So I think Cabby would be taking more of a liking to Lightbulb than maybe you would expect, given that Home is Where the Heart Is episode. I think they could have a relationship similar to the relationship that she's had with Goo. Because Goo is a silly guy. And it took some time for them to get along, but I think now they're on better terms. Obviously, we saw in the rejoining episode in Invitational, there's a little bit of annoyance between the two, but I think there's a development over time, and it's really sweet. So I think given the chance, their relationship could blossom. Ponce, why is Bomb allowed in Hotel OJ? That's interesting, because yeah, he did betray OJ. He is a backstabber, as OJ called him back in the day. I think something about Balloon just really rubbed OJ the wrong way back in the day. Pun intended with static electricity, I guess, from a balloon. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Bomb was also seen as at least somewhat innocent from the perspective of it was such a random thing, as opposed to like Bomb hadn't been like conniving and manipulative up to that point. But it is a good question. Maybe that's something that could be explored further in the future. Joypilled asks, do any characters? Okay, Starfruit here. I am a character, very important one, with a long and storied career that has now been reduced to $1.29 singles on iTunes. Sorry, MeTunes. Want to make sure I stay in continuity. What do you mean there's Meeple Music now? What? How much do I have to pay to listen on Meeple Music? Free? Free? What? What? There you go. Marvin. What do you want to know, Marvin? Okay, are we supposed to know if Toilet was or wasn't made by Me Life, or is it kept purposefully ambiguous? I mean, I don't think it's meant to be very, like, finitely clear at this point. I think we can leave that open. You'll know soon enough. I think it'll be more interesting if you see it for yourself than if I were to just tell you. But I enjoy seeing the different theories about it. What I would just suggest is think about where Toilet came from in the first place. You know, think long and hard about that, and then let that inform your opinion. Rima, I used the last money on my 401k just so I could ask MePhone for Ass to sing Walking on Sunshine. That is a great, great ask. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up the lyrics, which I know basically, but I just want to make sure I do I do them justice. I'm going to take a drink of water. Okay. I used to think maybe you loved me. Now, baby, I'm so. And I just can't wait till the day when you knock on my door. Now, every time I go for the mailbox, gotta hold myself down on the ground. 'Cause I just can't wait till you write me you're coming around. All right, now I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. And don't it feel good? All right now, and don't it feel good? Hey, it doesn't. I don't like this. Let me get off of this sunshine. Pathetic. Okay, there you go. Tori consistently asking for the candle plush. Maybe we have to single-handedly make the candle plush for Tori at this point. I mean, at the very least, in the meantime, you have options available on Etsy from, unofficial sellers. I'm not going to try to deprive you if this is such an urgent need. Aka Minaj, do you think Taco and Balloon had any time together before season 2, considering they were both not allowed in Hotel OJ? It's interesting because I don't know if it was ever like formally stated that Taco was not allowed in Hotel OJ. I guess that's just the presumption because I don't think she ever tried to enter. Maybe she sent the notes, but she didn't try to enter in the way that Balloon did. So I personally, I never thought that they did have any time together in between seasons 1 and 2, but that would be very, very interesting if they did. Seems like a good fic idea. Or something. Train leg. OJ or Mike plushie. See, I mean, good ideas. What do we want? Vote in the comments. Rux. Not sure how spoilery this is, but how did MePhone discover he made the contestants? How did he feel knowing this when it happened? I mean, I don't think this is spoilery if I'm interpreting your question correctly, because yeah, I think episode 17 makes pretty clear that he subconsciously created the contestants. And Cherries, I mean, even later says in the episode, so you expect us to believe that some contestants who look just like the ones you dreamed up in your head just randomly showed up one day. Were you born yesterday? And MePhone's like, well, I was only a few months old. So yeah, I don't think he ever really put two and two together before. And maybe it was something that he suspected way back in his mind, like a voice that he couldn't even really hear. It certainly was something that, like, once he heard it, like, everything made so much more sense. Yeah, all that stuff that didn't make sense suddenly made sense, as Suitcase says. But yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't a feeling of clarity that was his main emotion. It was a feeling of just utter devastation. I mean, that he's like let everyone down, basically, that he created them just for this purpose, and they have nothing else more to them than that. And I'm sure there's some of this guilt of, I don't want to repeat the same mistakes of my creator, right? Like, I want them to know that they're cared for and they can do more than just what I've assigned them to do. And you see some of that in his first impulse to be like, I need to go tell them, I need to show them I care. But Meathead stops him and is like, hey, look, don't forget, it's this would be a selfish decision, because if you get struck down, then they lose their chance for a revival system. And this is true. But MePhone at that point should still be like, hey, let me be forthcoming about the information I now understand. The fact that I created everyone. I created all these contestants. I talk about it. Admit it. Maybe it wouldn't have helped. Maybe it wouldn't have made a difference. But I mean, be honest. As soon as you know the truth, be honest. But again, because it was easy, he just sort of doesn't, which is really sad. But that's just kind of an impulse that MePhone fell into again and again. Infram said, Brian, I swear to God, I was joking a few streams ago when I said the cause of MePhone X in secret. Oh, did you say that? That's funny. Well, you kind of predicted it in a way. Sinai asked, please, anything about Cabby. I think Cabby more recently has gotten into cataloging different TV shows. She's becoming her own TV tropes type page. And at first that was just going to be a side project, but now she's super invested in it. And it's getting difficult. Because, yeah, this is too much. It's too much. Too much to catalog. But now that she's dead, I mean, that doesn't. It's all mood anyway. Hello, Brian Koch. I have a small question. If Clover and Paintbrush were still alive, would they be friends? I mean, they did meet and seem to get along fairly well in season 3. I mean, they not necessarily a ton in the way of interactions, but I think I think it would be some of that stuff that Paintbrush still has of, okay, well, there's certainly some chaos to the way that Clover operates, but I think the more that they came to know Clover, the more they would be like, okay. I guess it kind of makes sense in its own silly way. Sure, thumbs up. Oh my goodness, I love this comment. Listen to me, you cellular cheapskate. Dago's been living in my room, driving me crazy, and you're not going to bring her back all because of a stupid challenge. Excellent reference to one of my absolute favorite SpongeBob episodes, Can You Spare a Dime? Like, seriously, it's like maybe like number 2 on my list. Like, it's really high, y'all. Like, I adore that episode. And hello to you. Hello to you. Oh, Jordan. Well, I steamrolled over the fact it was Jordan. I didn't even see that it was you, Jordy. Hey, good to see you. Back from Dallas. Awesome. Good for you. Yeah, oh man. Yeah, love that episode. Love it. Such a good one. Hyphen, is there a reason why some of the characters' pages, Soap, Lightbulb, don't have any additional writing? Was MePhone just not finished with them yet? Yeah, I mean, I think he wasn't super consistent on everybody, you know? Like, it's not like each of them had the same exact template of info. I mean, he's a kid putting it together, right? So I think it's pretty impressive that it's even as organized as it is. Some have noticed that inconsistent on goo is spelled wrong. This was something that was intentionally put in because we know that MePhone has a tendency to spell things wrong, like transformation. And also it kind of fits the vibe of inconsistent. So just in case anyone's like, why, CinemaSins ding. No, take back your ding. Take back your ding. Bills and Buns, always can count on you being here. Yes. Hope your day's going well as well. And any infants in I-17? I mean, it didn't happen. I guess we found out the circumstances surrounding their quote-unquote birth in a way. So that's as close as you're ever going to get. Digimon Kaiser. Hi, Brian. I've been an II fan for 12 years. Started in first grade. Now I'm in college. Oh, my goodness. So thank you so much. Wow. Well, thank you. Episode 14 of season 2. What was Taco going to say before Mike cut her off? I've definitely gotten this question before. I don't know if it was from... If it was from you, then it must have been after you would have stopped watching the stream, and maybe it was from someone else. But I presume that this is referring to near the end when Taco is like, finally, we can finally, and then Mike hits her with the, is that what you said to Pickle? So I think it was just, it was going to be something along the lines of like, finally, we can finally work together and be rid of any of this doubt that you have in me that I will lead you astray. Because I think up to this point, even though Taco was taking a role in which she was the one that was saying like, oh, I'll help you win, often Microphone would help lead the way ultimately of like, all right, yeah, you gave me the thought of an idea, but I'm going to take it in my own direction, like what she does in Kick the Bucket, when it's like, I'm not going to use the temporary paralyzer, but I will find a way to, you know, do what needs to be done and like throw a balloon off his game differently. So yeah, I think Taco is going to be like, this is the affirmation of that my methods work. Because you see, now you're standing here with immunity and you won. And you see, I can really help you and we can do this together. I think it was going to be something along those lines. And Taco not even saying it in a way of being like, see, that's why you should stop doing what you're up. Just listen to me. I think, no, it was Taco feeling her own worth. You know, it was like, oh, I pulled it off. I did. Oh, aren't you proud of me? Well, look what we could do together if you just listen to me and my advice. Hyphen, was MePhone the only person to show Cobb's kindness? That's a loaded question. I mean, I would say no. I mean, I think we can even see from the Future So Yesterday alone that he clearly has admirers that are asking him questions. You know, some of them are trying to be like, well, wait, hold on, in like a maybe less praiseworthy way. But clearly, he has plenty of admiration. And now you could say, oh, is that superficial? Are those people that really know him? But like, does he really know MePhone? Has he really let MePhone in, metaphorically speaking? Yeah, I don't know. Christine B. Hi, Brian. Nice to see you live. Hi there. Just saying hi and look forward to Act 3. Both my daughter, Ashley, and myself are hoping for a somewhat happy and positive resolution. You're still awesome. Thank you. Hi to Ashley for sure. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Obviously, I can't say one way or another, but really appreciate y'all watching and thanks for sticking around. Magic pickle that makes you punch someone. It's Hajib. Okay, so now we're just saying things that have been said before. Cool. Miss Steve, where have the other season 3 contestants been, and what have they been doing during II-15 through 17? I think what you need to understand is the fact that this isn't their season, so it's not like everyone would have shown up to the hotel. You know what I mean? They wouldn't all have been like, oh, yeah. I think it's just a couple of them came to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll check that out. That was the vibe. It also allowed there to be some fun surprise to the appearances of like, oh wait, whoa, it's Cabby is here, Candle is here, Goo is here, and then the extra bonus of Silver here. What? So, you know, of course they all just you know, it doesn't matter if so long as they were made by MePhone, which, you know, pretty much all of them were, they still are affected and, have been deleted. But even if they didn't show up to the party, but that's why I was trying to keep it realistic. Because, like, I mean, if you think about Survivor, it's not like everyone from Survivor 45 would show up to some Survivor 46 party. Sometimes they do. Sometimes former competitors, it seems like more often than not now, they'll like show up and they'll be like, hey, I'm like part of the community now. I'll come. But is it everyone? Probably not. Patricia, do 4 and 4S see each other as family siblings? I don't know if they see each other that way, but I know I've definitely talked about this before. There is certainly a sibling-like, brother-like dynamic in a way of like, I mean, 4S even calls him at one point my less technologically advanced failure of a relative. So I guess on some level they acknowledge it, and they clearly have been through similar experience, and they have the same creator in a sense. But yeah, so in a way, only they know what the other has gone through. But yeah, if only either of them could acknowledge it more, then maybe they would feel some compassion towards each other, or some more compassion. From Tapeworm, are each of the lights in the Shimmer's eggs separate people or one person? Fans, you'll look out for each other lines seem to imply the former. I think this is also up for interpretation a bit. I think I don't think that what is it? I mean, I'll say what my intent is. My intent is that yes, they are separate. It is two. There's two within this lost one. But just and even though they refer to a lost one, it still is there is more than just that is within it. So the way in which the Shimmer eggs work is different than how we would understand human beings to work or objects to work. And I think that's part of the alien nature of them. That it's like, oh, these are just eyes, right? No, these are both beings, but also they're beings that are within a collective whole. But also they could move out and be independent and appear in a different manifestation, a different shell. So yeah, there is that. Fonty Go Lucky, was making bot the same colors as egg intentional? It's certainly something we thought about, and in a way it's sort of interesting because once Fan and Test Tube, or at the very least, I mean, Fan's not there during this point, but once Test Tube tries to stop, looking at things as like, oh, I want to have the same experience with the egg again. It's not to say that bot like turns into the egg or anything. That would be strange, but there's something symbolic about the fact that these colors are incidentally somewhat similar. So it's like, oh, like now it, like, I guess in a thematic way suggests you do have this parental relationship that has been invoked now, because you're willing to accept bot as their own person. So I think that's the way that then I would think about it, because clearly it was all bot's own choice in terms of their color and their appearance and everything. So it's not like that was something that they were told to do or made to do. But yeah, it's that's the way that I would probably look at it. But so in a way, yes, but it is, meta, like technically speaking, it is incidental, if that makes sense. Spooky Creations. When is episode 18 coming out? I know it's coming out in November. What day? Can't say what day. We can't say November, though. Another question. Did Blueberry survive because I'm his #1 fan? No. Sorry. I'm sorry. He didn't make it. And I want to say that he tried, but he didn't. I mean, he doesn't stand a chance. What are we talking about? Dearest Reject. I mean, hey, he's fake being dead before, but I don't know if he could pull it off this time. Dearest Reject. Do the erased objects have an afterlife once they're dead, or are they just gone? I mean, they literally got deleted, y'all. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. They, like, it's not even that. And I think people have asked, like, wait, so then Suitcase and Knife, they, like, is it just, they, like, teleport away? Like, no, like, I mean, don't you understand the fact that when MePhone is sitting there at the end, he was in where Hotel OJ was, and he was obviously surrounded by the inanimatified versions of the other characters, and now those are all gone because they all, glitched away, like they're gone. So they're just gone. But I mean, Plushies maybe will get restocked, as Phoebe said. So there's that. Any cabbie facts? Okay. Let's see if we can come up with another cabbie fact. Cabbie, yeah, is also learning slang terms, which is going about as cringely as you would expect, but in a charming way, in a really cute way, Or, it was going along. Thankfully, we were mercifully spared from any more of it because they were just starting to get into like more recent Gen Z stuff, and you don't want to hear that. Is there another song? Please tell us. From N. I mean, probably, maybe. I don't know. There'll be instrumental score at the very least. I know at the events, though, I feel like it was kind of openly stated that there would be more songs. And we did already get another song since then, which was The Future Is So Yesterday. So that would imply that there would be another song, huh? Maybe. From Mick Meesey. I need to know the friendship status of test tube after the STEM quote. How is fan to test tube? I mean, they're obviously like in a really close relationship. I don't understand why people are still doubting this in any way. Yeah, fan loves women in STEM. That's what this is referring, right? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I mean that's just a more recent thing that was said, but they've been close since way before that. Infram, I was crying the whole episode until Silver Spoon died. Wow, that's pretty rough. That's rough, buddy. Oh, gee whiz. Okay. From Ruby XD, why was MeBook deactivated? Will there ever be an explanation about that? Please, I need any info. Gah. I'm intrigued that you've keyed in on MeBook. I don't know if you mean Meekintosh or what. I mean, obviously in that closet or whatever we want to call it, there's just a lot of things in there. I think, it's not necessarily everything has been deactivated in a very intentional way. I think some things have just kind of broken down or aren't working, malfunctioning in some sort of way. But yeah, I mean, Cobbs is a mysterious guy. He's done many things that are not good. Okay. Hi, Ruby. I'm your biggest fan. There you go. I said it just for you. Where is Bot? They're away. They are away. They did not come to Hajib or Hop, whatever you want to call it. Actually, fan IRL trust. Okay, finally, we found the real one. Very good. Will there ever be a resale for the Fan Plus, please? Is that something people want? Are there more fans that want a Fan Plush? Rosca, did you guys intend to make the show so emotional? No, complete accident. No, it's definitely the intent. I mean, look, at a certain point, especially when you're doing it for so many years, the characters just mean more and more to you. And I don't know, I'm inspired by when there are emotional arcs in shows and films and plays, whatever, whatever version of the arts that you want to talk about. Media. That's just what gets me. I mean, I love having a great laugh, but if there can be some hard or hurt or something, anything in between, I think that's just what takes something to the next level. That's what, a lot of my favorites, like, your Pixar's, your Steven Universe's, BoJack Horseman's, Good Places, whatever. They all understand that. Star Kids, they get that. They get that blend of, funny ha-has and sweet sincerity. Okay, we talked about Clover and Paintbrush already, so we can keep going on to this question. Yo, Brian, what happened to the debuters in II6? Yes. I mean, also created by MePhone, so I think you can solve the rest of that, right? Pesky Lee's asked for a knife plushie and a Flory rug return. Do y'all want to even buy, like, dead characters? Do you? I mean, if you do, yeah, just let us know. Vincent asked Brian, if OMG, oh my god, in Christ's sake, etc. exist in the II universe, does that mean Christianity exists? I mean, we're not even talking about Christmas, right? It's funny because we do have, I mean, there is in the storage closet, whatever you want to call it in Meeple, again, that room, there's, I think the cursive says Christmas decorations instead of Christmas decorations. So, but we've obviously still over the years had some references to, like, oh, thank God, or whatever Apple says in one of the episodes. It was in March on Mars. Phew, thank God. Get to stick. Look. Now, don't take that too seriously. I think those are just figures of speech. Maybe those are things that MePhone heard from on TV. But it is, I don't know. It's out there. It's way out there. It's beyond really the realm of what's going on in our sphere of the show. I don't know. Don't think too much about it, please. Hi, what happened to Springy and the rest of the Indefinites from season 3? Seen a lot of theorizing about these folks. I suggest reading into it because I feel like some of the events, if not all of the events from the invitational finale, that 2-part finale, make more sense now given what we currently know. So, yeah, I mean, were they acting of their own volition? Were they? Did MePhone just have some guilt that manifested? Would Bo play Dress to Impress? Absolutely. I think that game is made for Bo. Nimfram. Fun fact that will make you laugh. Not even Cabby or Candle walked to check on Yin Yang. No one cared about them dying. That's not true. They all are actively trying to work towards a solution that can prevent others from dying and maybe even reverse the process. So it's not like they don't care. It's just that's what it's about. And also, like, I mean, I don't think the episode would be better served by a scene in which Cabby and Candle go to check on them. I guess it's something you can put into the background of a shot. There's just so much going on. And a lot of, and I'm trying as much as I can to make it feel like it's coherent, while also still intentionally having the episode feel like it's just things very quickly falling apart and apart and apart and apart. And you're like, whoa, wait. The characters are dying. We're only, and this is something I hear in reactions a lot. It'll be like, we're only 2 minutes in, or only 5 minutes in, or halfway through, and like this much has happened. All of these have died. Like, to like kill off Test Tube so early. I mean, that's when you know, like, no one is safe. And they really aren't. Literally, no one was safe. Everyone died. Theory about MePhone 4 being the Shimmer. Because when he died and went into Forrest's body, he still had the Shimmer powers, also making a MePhone 4 clay figure. Awesome to hear about the clay figure. I mean, obviously, Fan has his theory that that the other lost egg is part of MePhone 4. Is that true? Do we feel that it's true? What do we think, chat? I don't know. Bugger for Jones, YT. Hi, Brian. Sorry if this is silly, but Test Tube seems to have an interest in space throughout the show, but I want to know what her favorite aspect about space is. Mine are black holes. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, gosh, what a great question. I mean, I feel like it's got to be zero gravity, right? Like the feeling of weightlessness, which is just so fascinating because I think, at least I always thought as a kid, it's like, oh yeah, well then there's no gravity there. But it's like, no, it is still there. It's just weaker and weaker and weaker as it goes, as we go further away. But like you feel weightless, kind of, so to speak. I don't know. Or it's like I honestly, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I think that's what it is. It's like free fall or something. I don't know. But it's not no gravity. That much I know. I think Test Tube would be compelled by that. And I think she would be really excited to go, actually, it's not no gravity. It's just a feeling of lesser gravity. Yeah. Ron, just wondering if you had any MePhone X fun facts. I think at the end of the day, he cared about his creator, and that's why he saved him, even though it killed him to do it. Sketch notey. How do you feel when the II fandom quickly gets the ARG that fast? Bad, bad, very bad, no good, horrible, very bad day. No, it was fine. I thought it was funny. I mean, we definitely talked about like, oh, what if they solve this in like a day or maybe even like an hour? And it was then less than an hour. It was like, gee whiz. I mean, y'all make a whole Discord server about it. I mean, look, I mean, I said this on Twitter, but like the Bill Cipher ain't got nothing on y'all. I know the Cipher Hunt, I mean, you had to go to some real world locations and such. We weren't going to do anything like that, but still, I mean, the speed of it, you got to respect it. It just shows how committed y'all are to the show and how much you really want to know more. So I absolutely love that. And yeah, no, I mean, thank you. Thank you. More requests for Knife Plus. I guess people do want this, you know. I guess people do want dead characters after all. Okay, noted. Dope Dob. Not a question, but I love how fan refers to him and Tetsuba as our whole relationship. Ah, yes, when he says our whole relationship is founded on rebelling against Meeple, right? Rather than friendship. I know that word can be used platonically, but it really shows how close they became. Absolutely. I don't think friendship would have been a sufficient word for fan to use in that context. So yeah, I'm glad he used that word too. Boop de mouse. Does Meekintosh being in Suitcase's hallucination mean anything? I noticed in the subtitle they're the one saying for them. Yes, it definitely means something. I don't know if we'll ever get more overt about this, and I feel like I've maybe talked about this in the past at some point, but if not, maybe it's been lost to time. I don't know. Meekintosh. We remember Meekintosh, right? From Theft and Battery. Suitcase comes in. They start talking about how, like, oh, you know, speaking in all these things that are kind of like these vague sentiments that seem to kind of directly apply to what Suitcase is going through of like, oh, they only care about you when there's something you can give to them, right? All of that stuff. And it does seem to apply. And then later when we get into the post-credit scene, we go out of our way to be like, oh, it's actually, Cobb says that nobody's been in this room in quite some time. Which is weird because it seemed like Meekintosh was checked in. And then we start realizing that Suitcase is someone that sees a lot of hallucinations. Kind of makes you think, doesn't it? Did Suitcase walk in on someone that just happened to, like, know exactly what was going on in the relationship and, like, happened to say the right thing? Or, I don't know. I don't know. It's something to think about. I mean, it's open to your interpretation. Oh, I see a lot of people seem to not. Oh boy. I'm seeing a lot of wait, what? Okay. Okay. Luminous privates. Will we find out where Bot has been since I? I don't know how much that's really intact. Like we're trying to pay off the season 2 story and the season 2 characters, or at least what's left of them at this point. So I don't know how pertinent that is, the story at this point. But I mean, I think that's great fic material. Who knows? I'm not going to rule anything out. McMeesy asks, was there any crushes that were brewing other than the 2 that were confirmed? I want to know. Oh, like crushes that characters have on other characters? I mean, again, like, I don't think this would be the best form to, like, reveal, like, actually, this character has a crush on another character. Yeah, I think the best way to experience that is just sort of seeing through in the show of, like, well, clearly there's some attraction, or, I mean, whatever you want to call it. Like, there's a special relationship that's between certain characters. Yeah, we're not trying to hide that. No. Can you voice a scene of Fandom MePhone for us arguing, and then Weird Al Yankovic comes and does a cameo on Hotel OJ, and they both get excited and fight? I'm telling you, Flores, the parodies come After, not before, after the songs. No, I watched the Weird Al documentary. I watched Weird, and you have to understand that Michael Jackson ripped off Weird Al. No, that was satire. That was just parody as well. You have to understand. You don't get what he's trying to do here. No, the biography is completely true. That movie said that he died at the end for us. Do you actually think that he died? Do you think he died in real life? Well, no one's seen him in some time, have they? Have they? I don't think they have. So maybe he did. I don't know. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him. Have you seen him? Hey guys, it's me. I'm Weird Al. Oh, I'm a ghost, or maybe I'm not. I won't explain it. Wow. What was that? I think that's some crazy person pretending to be Weird Al. No, that was Weird Al. That was really him. Don't you get it? Don't you see that he's right there? That's pretty weird. Okay. Microphone Plushie, when? You're holding her hostage. I'm not. I promise I'm not. I promise I'm not. But if it's wanted, it could maybe happen. Okay, yeah, this one we talked about. Taco profile picturize. Yeah, people love that. Marshmallow +1. I'm glad to see love for Marshmallow again. This is a character that used to be perhaps the most popular character in the show, and then we kind of put her on the bench for a while, intentionally so, but now she's back. Thank you for the donation, Milana. Ryan Song. Are taco plushies restocking? I mean, if the demand is there, maybe. McNeesy, is FanTube or Light Brush canon? How much more canon do they have to be? Psycho Shot. Had Knife and or Suitcase gotten eliminated before you changed everything to contestant voting, who would you have put in the final two? I don't think there was a backup plan, to be honest. We would have had to figure it out. That would have been very disappointing. Yeah, that would have been really rough. That would have been really, really rough. But we would have figured something out. Microphone probably would have gotten a spot there. I would have to assume, just seems to make sense. We'll try to, hopefully plushies can be restocked at various points. And in terms of 4S, spills the buns. I know 4S doesn't want to be turned into a marketable plushie. Hey, that was just something we had him say on one of these. How much to Kickstarter plush to reunite him with the MePhone plush? Look, I would love for him to have one, and for him to also have a voice box that may or may not be cursed. I think would be great. Okay, a fan says that, all right. Gary the Garyester is the best ever. There you go. Oh, another fan request. Golf ball enthusiast. You're kind of stepping on my territory here. I am the enthusiast when it comes to anything. That's why they call me fan, all right? So if you're going to just square in on golf ball enthusiast, it's kind of what I do. I am going to need you to step off. Thank you very much. Fluff, any characters you wish stayed past viewer voting, or at least stayed longer than they did? I mean, Soap. I think everyone knows that about Soap. Feel that way. Soap, Trophy. I think those are probably but mainly Soap. But that said, the viewers never made any mistakes, and we love them. Last ask, does 3GS feel guilt over 1 and 3G's death? Would be very hard for him not to, right? I think that's part of what he's so pent up about. But I think maybe even above all else, he's kind of horrified by the unknown terrors that Cobbs would have unleashed using what he acquired from that planet. And he didn't know what he was doing. It's still really messed up what he did, and it doesn't erase what he did. But he didn't know what he was doing. It's a pretty tragic situation. Hi, Brian. What would it have been like if Knife was in season 3? I love Knife so much. I don't think Knife would have been up for it. I mean, unless it took place after. I get it would have to be a completely different reality and continuity, because he would not have been like, "Oh, I'm going to start again from scratch." He would have been like, "Nope, sorry, I quit. I'm gonna go play some video games." Did Tetsuman fan binge the Big Bang Theory? Sure. I mean, I think so. I think they watched it. We're like, I think they also watched Young Sheldon. I think they're watching Georgie Mandy's First Marriage. which is really, I saw the first episode. Good stuff. It's good. That scene where Georgie talks about his father and how he wished he hugged him more. It's pretty heartfelt. Good stuff. I know people were probably just looking for a meme, but it's true. Anything you can tell us about Meekintosh? I kind of think I just told you a lot about Meekintosh, actually. Just told you a lot about him. Just think about it. Zach R1240. I assume this is referring to the plushies, so I'm going to answer in reference to the plushies. Is Yin Yang going to come back along with the other plushies? We'll see. We'll see. Again, if demand is there. I mean, we already had Yin Yang come back once. So I think other characters deserve to come back once in plushie form first. Perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. And did Justin pick up the phone? Oh my goodness. Referencing the tweet that I made when Justin leaked out the trailer early, which was certainly not a coordinated effort on our part. It was just Justin going rogue, and we should all be very angry with him for the rest of time. Yes. But he did eventually pick up the phone, and I yelled at him. Gray. Hi, Brian. I had a dream last night that Bots VA was Taylor Swift in II-18, and then Swifties discovered II. Would this ever happen? We love Suitcase. Yeah, we do love Suitcase, so this wouldn't happen. So even if Taylor Swift was like, please, can I voice Bot? We'd be like, Taylor, honey, we'll give you another role, but you can't be Bot. Bot is already played by the wonderfully talented Suitcase, okay? Taylor would be like, okay, all right. That's quite all right. I, Taylor Swift, will now play a different character as a result of respecting Suitcase. Okay. Phoebe asks, in episode 9, I believe you mean episode 7. Did the van license plate say Cobbs? It specifically said C085, I believe. That was something that Ben put in there as a bit of foreshadowing for Cobbs, who was going to show up in the next episode at that time. So yes, that is definitely very much intentional. Yeah, shout out to Ben. Yeah, I mean, I think now it's kind of understood that since that was a machination of MePhone's mind, it was, that's why it says that. It's not just an Easter egg for Easter egg's sake. And there's also, I mean, in episode 8, there's some writing under a wire, and maybe warrants a second look. I know some people have found it already. From Eggs. Hi, Brian. Will the analysis video be similar to the story behind I-14 hatching the plan? I love that video. Also, are you or anyone you know attending the Texas Object Hangout in January? Great to hear about the Texas Object Hangout. Catherine always does an amazing job with that. We'll see. I mean, I'm certainly open to it. Purely just depends on work and if I'm able to. I would love to be able to go to all of these things. Analysis video, probably somewhat similar. I don't know if it would be as crazy long, because I know at least at that time I had a lot more free time because it was, full on quarantine and, wasn't working and just kind of just ramble on and on and on. So you're getting the on and on rambling here. The analysis video would probably be, at least, I mean, I've already started writing a pass on it, and it would be something, I think, examining the episode through a specific lens. So it would be more video essay, like refined video essay, I think, but still in that spirit, I would say. But curious, I mean, what do people want? Do they like kind of analyzing the themes of an episode? Do they like going into the characters, the parallels? Do they appreciate story structure, beat by beat? Like, what is everyone looking for in a video like that? I'm curious, because I mean, there's also no reason that we only have to do one video about it. That also is true. From Cringe Fail Cabitha, when MePhone froze the contestants, did it apply to Marshmallow and Apple? Did Bo see that? Good question. Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that it didn't apply to that. It was more just whoever was like pertinently involved in the game. I mean, obviously we get our little glimpse of in the mansion. And I think it's okay to say this as well, because I feel like we could all just fairly assume that Bo would have like made a bigger deal out of this if that was the case. Of like, yeah, they froze for a long time. Like, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I do know. I just answered. Now I'm curious. What's your favorite SpongeBob episode? The Krusty Krab training video. Krusty Krab training video, for sure. It blew my mind when I saw it as a kid, because I just never really saw something before that was so format breaking. That was kind of like documentary or mockumentary style or whatever, but like in animation, like I just adored that. So I would say that one. I mean, I know Band Geeks is a great choice. There are so many great choices. Literally, SpongeBob has so many complete all-timer episodes. I have a list of favorite episodes that I made. It's like 9 years ago now. I wonder if I even still stand by all of this, but I did do that. And yeah, it was. Whew, wonder if I could even find that favorite SpongeBob episodes. Do I still have this? Maybe not. Here we go. So my top 10, and this is from, oh wow, actually 2014, January 11, 2014, more than 10 years ago. Okay. My top 10 were Club SpongeBob, so that's Magic Conch. Number 9, Squid on Strike. We all know that. That's a Strike episode. 8, Sailor Mouth. You know, the the swears. 7, Squilliam Returns. 6, Dying for Pie. Bombs. 5, The Graveyard Shift. Hatchling and Slasher. Number 4, Band Geeks. Number 3, Idiot Box. This is the imagination one. Number 2, Can You Spare a Dime? Number 1, Krusty Krab training video. Yeah. But there are so many amazing ones. I don't even know. This is so hard to choose. And then who would the SpongeBob cast be as II characters? We'd be here all day. Lightbulb is SpongeBob, though. That much we can say. Lightbulb is SpongeBob. And Paintbrush has got to be Squidward. Got to be Squidward. Yeah. MePhone, Mr. Krabs, you know. Maybe Apple is Patrick. Test Tube, of course, is Sandy. Okay, what? So we got SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Mr. Krabs. Yeah, that's good enough for now. I'm spending a lot of time on this question. Got to get to other questions. Page A canon. Again, how canon do you want them to be? I mean, I think there's a lot of things that are pretty obviously put. I mean, like he is not your boyfriend. Come on. Maybe a story will help cheer you up. It's called The Ugly Corn Cob. There was once an ugly corn cob. He was so ugly that everyone died. The end. That didn't help at all. Hi, Brian. Was Purgatory Mansion deleted with the contestants? Also, season 4 when? Another loaded question. I mean, geez. Purgatory Mansion, I think that went the way of the hotel, I'm sorry to say. I am very, very sorry to say. The contestants went, and so did the mansion. Season 4, what are you even talking about? I spent almost $50, so we need to know, is FanTube or Lightbrush canon? I need comfort. Again. They pretty clearly are. Like, I mean, they clearly... I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to you people. I don't know what to say. Does 4 crave to make Cobbs proud like a kid would? I think he certainly craved it more back in the old days. Now, I don't know if you could really say that he does. I think maybe somewhere deep within him there's like affirmation that he could get. But I don't think he's trying to actively do anything to make him proud. I think there is still the chip on his shoulder of like, I want to make something that's my own and I'll show him. In that way, sure. Fandom person 24. If MePhone learned about him making the contestants earlier, like season 1 or early season 2, would he have owned up to it in some way or would he run? I don't know if he would have owned up to it because clearly he needs a push. As we saw, even after all of his character development, even now he needed a push. So it depends. Would he have gotten that push from someone? Or would no one have been the wiser? If Knife was able to, would he be friends with Bryce, aka Soda Bottle, from HFJ1? Yeah, I mean, I think I can see what you're saying there. Both have kind of similar active planning vibes. I can see it. Sure. Beelzebub will ever get to see Cobb's parents. That's an idea. Yeah, I mean, can neither confirm nor deny, but it's a cool thought. From Vex, can you tell me a fact about Doe? Please, I love my baby girl. I'll take anything as long as it's about the delusional Doe blob. Let's see. I just want to say that Doe genuinely, whatever you think about this, if you think it's true or not, Doe 100% believes that Bo is his sister. He's not lying about that. I think that is a fact about Doe. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think any super chats that comment, like I'm gonna maybe close them starting at 9:15. I would say, just because there's so many, and my voice is gonna really it's gonna really lose it. So maybe I don't know. I might have to close it, or at the very least do some sort of intermission or something. So I'm the only person talking here. My throat, whew, I don't know. It's gonna be sore. Angel, what were Taco and Microphone doing before they died? I mean, I think they were very actively contributing towards the mission. Obviously, they needed to, that Invisibo that was given to Bo Apple had to come from somewhere. So, Taco gave that over. And I think they were, obviously aware of the plan. And maybe some words were exchanged in time. But there obviously wasn't a ton of time to be anything other than on task. But I'm sure that didn't stop them from trying. Gary, the Garyester is awesome. Bazinga! Nice transition. Okay. Hey there, question. Since the Yin Yang exit interview states that Yin Yang is a Miku fan, are there any other Vocaloid fans in II? Thanks. I think it's just Yin Yang. I think that's what makes Yin Yang special, personally. No, actually, that's not true. Fan and test tube also. From Joy Pilled. I remember being in middle school when I first got into II. Now I'm going to be graduating high school soon. Think about how we feel. We're done with college and we're working on it. We started in middle school. Oh, I love making these hop hodge of wars. Oh boy. All right, everyone, sound off in the comments. What do you think? Hop or Hodgep? Hop or Hodgep? Hi, Brian. I have a question about an episode 14. When Microphone got eliminated, Lightbulb said she stole the show and my heart. What does it mean, Yuri? I think don't take it too seriously. I think it was just referring to the fact that Microphone had this very sentimental speech that she gave, and Lightbulb's like, "Oh wow, it stole my heart too." It wasn't like, "Oh, I'm in love with this person." It was just sort of like, "Wow, what a heartwarming speech." That's my little Lightbulb impression, I guess. You're welcome. From Limon, hi Brian, hi to you, Limon, hi to you. Lilac, not sure if this implies spoilers, but were Taco and MePad frozen in time during season 3 as well, or was it just the final 4? I mean, what I would say, and I don't know if we would ever get into this, so take this with a grain of salt because it would maybe be overwritten if we decide that things need to go a different way. So this is like expanded universe tier. But I think Taco was frozen, but MePhone wouldn't have the capability to freeze MePad, but MePad was out of commission. So it's not like MePad would have noticed anyway. So I think that's what happened. It's too much of a spoiler, one way or another. Sorry. Can't say, like, even if it completely happened or completely didn't happen, we can't talk about that. We're sitting in Bright Lights cosplay right now. Oh my gosh, we're? How many of you are there, that adorable fox? Oh, that's amazing. Well, I am inspired just to hear what you have done. So if I were to inspire you, I would just say keep doing what you're doing. I think cosplay is an amazing way to express yourself, which is so interesting because, you dress up as someone else, but in a way, it's just a further extension of you. I think that's a wonderful thing. So keep being other people because that'll let you keep being you in a new fun way. Hooray! Finster GX says Skibbity Toilet. Very, very good, Finster GX. Everyone, give it up for Finster GX's donation to say Skibbity Toilet. Very good. Miss Steve. Hey, Miss Steve. How's it going? Could you perhaps give us any facts on bot? Let's see. I think bot is now at the point where it's like, do I like better when I use pencil on paper or like, pen with tablet? Or, at least they were at that point. Well, actually, I've been used to having to say that for everyone else, but this is bot. So, yeah, I guess this is what they're concerned about now. What kind of writing utensil should they use? Because there's one that just like, you get the immediate feedback of like, oh, yes, it's right. And there's just like that tactility. But the other, it's like you can erase and, like just have more edibility. So there is that. Yeah, I don't know. What kind of music does MePhone 4 listen to? I must know. I think it's either really like peppy, like get up in the morning type music, or just like the saddest stuff, the angstiest stuff, or it's ringtones. He loves a good ringtone. Those are really fun. No one else seems to enjoy them, but he loves. He's like, yeah, drop that beat, yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, thanks, Christine, for the appreciation. No matter the resolution, we still love you. Inanimate insanity forever. Oh, thank you. Clowny, does bot resent fan and test tube at all? I think they do. I think that's something, it would be great if we were able to get more into, but we got a little bit more into in the exit interview. But I think it's certainly a little bit murkier than just a pure little happy ending there. But yeah, I think it's complex because don't make me to be the embodiment of a dead person on my own person. It's a lot. Oh, the candle plus. I'm sorry, Tori. I wish I had the power to do this. Snacks out. Hey, I'm just popping in to say hi before I go to sleep. My sister Caitlin and I both love the show. I was at a restaurant when episode 17 was released, so I started sobbing while eating lettuce. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry it ruined your lettuce. I hope it doesn't ruin your life. Stay tuned. From Chaos. Would 4S listen to ICP, Insane Clown Posse? I'm not really familiar with them, but based on that name, it's probably. From Uni. Was Lightbulb being X on the thumbnail for episode 16 supposed to foreshadow her death in episode 17? If so, Brian, you are evil. It's maybe not so much foreshadowing as it is just kind of like, this is representative of a situation. The thumbnails are not usually meant to be literal representations of what happens in an episode. So that's because Suitcase and Knife are also looking on in that moment, which they're not literally at any point of a MePhone X thing. So, it's not a literal representation. In a way, you could say it's foreshadowing because, we knew it was going to happen, but that wasn't the point of it because it would be, I don't know. Certainly got everyone talking. Marker Zero, thank you for the donation. Sherry, thank you for the donation. Love the Harley Quinn show. Limon, silly question. How did Balloon suddenly get so strong on III? He couldn't even throw a balloon on He couldn't even throw a ball on II2, and he suddenly could grab Nickel with one hand. Did he start working out when he got eliminated? I think maybe he did a little bit. I don't know if it was anything up to Blueberry's standards, but, he wanted to prove himself again. He wanted to, and all of the, I think he did maybe some baking. He certainly did some poetry, writing with the hand, building up those muscles. That's something for you. Hi, Amy. Thank you for your super Amy fan videos, super fan videos. Oh my goodness. Silly knife fact. Please, begging. I love my silly, goofy emo boy so much. Okay. Knife. When it comes to Knife's favorite music, I think a lot of people assume that it's just like, oh, heavy metal type stuff. And like, yeah, he's into that, but, he also really likes pop. I think he likes it. Don't tell him I told you. Don't tell him I told you. Well, I mean, you literally can't. Not because he's a fictional character, but because he's dead. They're all dead. MePhone 4, his biggest fan, says, MePhone. Okay. Thank you for the donation, L. Folder. Hello, yes, was the floor generated by MeLife? Yes. Clonny, I've noticed all three of you main writers for a Cabby with... no, I mean, Cabby is a she, her. Yeah, I know sometimes maybe I'll reference they, them, either when referring to characters in plural, or maybe just sometimes just like, yeah, I don't know, when referencing a character when generally speaking. But yeah, just to sort of then clear that up. But, you know, I think if someone wants to headcanon some they, she, or I don't know. I mean, if it feels affirming to someone, then I see no reason why not. Fonty Go Lucky, please bring back 5C. I'll give you so much money. You don't even need to include her dumb husband. Wow. That, I mean, they're a pair, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you would say that. They're a pair, but they're both dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. Cherry, fun facts about Taco and Mike together, please. Taco and microphone together. Microphone doesn't understand how hourglasses work. Taco's tried to explain the concept a number of times, but Microphone just keeps being like, well, so wait, but it doesn't, if you then flip it over, then it's going to be like cheating if like it just, like if we're playing a board game, right? And then the sand is almost like fully there on one side, and then you flip it over again, then it's not gonna be the same length of turn. So maybe actually C is the one that gets it, but Taco like kind of gaslights her and is like, no, it's just that I'm better at the board game than you. Yeah, there you go. Marker 0 had to donate again for this. So in the universe, would people watching think that like the environment was a set? Is it a real place? Where was it? I mean, there's an inanimate planet, we know that, and there's, you know, there's an island. Doesn't seem to be a set, but there are all of these things that it was adorned with that MePhone generated, and now they are gone. No, the number says I'm grounded and still grounded. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Is that because you were watching the stream? Is that because you were donating? If so, then stop. Be responsible. C-Class says, dude, it's so over. Someone up here asked if the light bulb moment where she said Mike stole her heart was Yuri, and I slapped a pun I stole from Tumblr. Eureka on it, but my connection broke. Eureka. That is so funny. I actually love Eureka. That's really, really cool. $4.99 from Finster GX. I don't know why I read the money out loud. I'm getting a little tired, I guess. I love fans so much. I generally sobbed when he died. Can fans say hi to me, please? Hi, Finster GX. I can non-canonically say hello to you anytime. Woohoo! ARCY man. Hi, Brian. What would be Microphone's favorite music artist? It's got to be like Olivia Rodrigo, right? That's definitely up there. Yeah. I mean, Olivia Rodrigo, that I think that makes sense. Ollie Casper. Hi, Brian. I love women in STEM and women in witchcraft. Can I have a test tube or candle fact? Let's see. I think test tube. Let's combine both of them together. I think test tube has been trying to learn more about Candle's meditative methods and like kind of this healing process and seeing if there is, genuine, like observable scientific value in it, or if it's all in the mind. And even if it is all in the mind, how that could be useful. I think test tube wants to understand that more, even if there's no necessarily biological benefit that occurs. Jonah, is there any reason why Gamey was at Meeple in episode 8? Was he there to consult Cobbs with his plans to make more reality shows? I like where your head's at. I don't know. C button, silly question. But if Steve Cobbs somehow ended up on the Infinity Train, how do you think that would go? Would he ever manage to get his exit? He would have a very, 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 very high number. That's how it works, right? You have a high number and then it's hard to get off. Yeah, that number would. Yeah, I don't think it would fit on his hand. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of rooms, a lot of numbers. KK stuff. Does Steve Cobbs think of MePhone 4 as a child? I need to know. I mean, I think he does when he's talking about how immature that he is, but I think, he thinks of him as, sadly, as a thing more often than as a child. So it really just depends on what is currently going on at the given moment. Hi, Brian. I'm listening. I'm sending this instead of buying Robux. Oh, my goodness. But would Fan listen to Vocaloid? Yes, he definitely would. I think he finds the concept fascinating, and I think it's something that bonds him and Test Tube even closer together. Phoebe, who is your least favorite character? I do not have a least favorite character. How could you say that? You know what, Phoebe? You're my least favorite character. Mwahaha. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I mean, look, because again, I as a writer, you can't really have a least favorite because then you should fix them. I can fix them. Literally, though, I can. It's Cobb's a lonely person with the presumed lack of... Is PR in this case like parental reinforcement? I don't know why I jumped to that. I assume it's not just public relations, but yeah. I can't help but have a feeling he's more lonely than he lets on. I mean, I think he's just so focused on innovation that there's not necessarily much in the way of loneliness there. I mean, I think he should be, but is he? Doesn't really seem like it. Or even if he was, would he admit it? I don't know. I don't think so. Bo is dead. Is there going to be a knife plush? Maybe. June, thank you for the donation. Oh, wait. Oh, you also asked. Hi, Yasin. Hi, Yasin. I don't know if you wanted it in Fan's voice, so I did them both. You're welcome for saying it. Purgatory Mansion was deleted. What would have been Bot's reaction to the other character's disappearance on the island? Heartbreak. I'm glad they didn't really have to see such destruction. From Zeldonix, what would have happened if Pickle got voted out versus Lightbulb? Whew. Yeah, I think Taco would have attached herself to Lightbulb. I mean, I think that's what the implication is there. That would have been like the next move. And then maybe Lightbulb would have felt betrayed in a way. I think that's very interesting. It's a great question. Benson, did you write MePhone with the intent of coding him with NPD? I think he's an interesting example of someone with an interest in psychology. I mean, he certainly is narcissistic. That's for sure. I think he demonstrates a lot of those qualities of, like, even down to not being able to handle criticism, right? But yeah, I mean, he's certainly while I don't know if we necessarily went into it being like, yes, NPD, that's the thing. I mean, I didn't. I don't think any of us did. I mean, I could talk to the guys, but yeah, I think he certainly is emblematic of those qualities, and I'm sure you could write a very interesting academic paper on it if you ever did. And for your psychology class, please forward it along. Ciozio, did MePhone 4 pause time to recover Springy in season 3? It was computer stuff, but how was he able to do it? It doesn't really seem like it makes sense. Well, yeah, how would he be able to generate someone that he didn't make? Oh, wait, but what if he... well, oh, hold on, I gotta drink some water. What was I talking about again? Oh, I can't remember. Will MePhone use the MePhone a TV screen sharing from season 1 in the finale? I wonder why you're asking that, but I mean, I always loved the MeTV thing. MeTV, that's a channel at this point. Yeah. Rima saying, using some of my family's inheritance to ask what can I do to have you guys make the MePhone for us plushie. Make your voice heard. Make a very, viral post. Do a tweet being like, I really want it. Show a forest shrine or show a like start a petition. I don't know. Get some signatures going. Show that it's wanted as a character that's fairly irrelevant. It's not one that's going to be near the top of the list. So yeah. Bugger for Jones. Hi again. Sorry for all these questions. Oh, no apologies at all. Just really love test tube. So do I. I'm very curious as to what she was thinking in her last moments. The abruptness of her death didn't leave much room for that. Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. I think, at the very least, she had some time to reflect positively on her relationship with Fan, because there was that whole little beat they had of laughing together about looking back on their time in the show. But yeah, the last thought was seeing a new piece of MePhone technology. And I don't think, she certainly didn't know for sure she was going to die in the way that maybe others did. But yeah, so I think it was sort of fitting that her last moment was one of looking at innovation and being curious and tragically being frightened by it. Normally invention is something that compels her, but there it was something that was the end of her. That's pretty rough. From June, will Marsh or Apple get a plush? They both deserve one, right? I think they do. I think they deserve it. But will they get one? That's where you all come into play. Come on, see if you can make it happen. Make your voices heard. How many times can you hear me say it? From N, are there other MePhones before 3GS, like a MePhone 1? Yes, we saw them both. We saw MePhone 1 and MePhone 3G, who were both tragically lost in that escape from the Shimmers, in the opening scene of the movie, of episode 16, to be specific. Let's see. Lila J, please tell us what MePhone's age is. I'm tired of arguing with people. I need to know. Well, I will say, I think some people are like, oh, is he like, if this started in 2011, is he now like a certain age that it's like, he's like 13 or what? Here, give me a second. Sorry, yeah, I just had to outrun this this weird blaring alarm. Anyway, MePhone's age. Yeah, I know some people have been like, oh, 2011 is when the show started. Like I don't think it's happening in real time in direct coordination with us. I don't think it's that he's now like 12 or 13 or whatever. I think he's still younger than that, but obviously the age of a MePhone works differently. I think I would not take it so literally in the way of let's make it as a 1-to-1 in terms of how humanity works. Bot, we've already talked about bot and all the numbers. Meepad X toilet. I mean, I can see it. I mean, they definitely respect each other. Slug cat potatoes. If it's not a spoiler, will we ever get to know about Cobb's parents? I can't say one way or another, but I can have for us say, "This is my cat, Hawk Frost. He kills people." From Sketch Zeta. I think it would be cool to advertise plushies with faces only to deliver them limbless and faceless. Troll them, all of them. That's wild. That's actually wild. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Yeah, would people like if we did that? I think they would. Wow, I'm seeing, oh my goodness. I'm seeing so many comments roll in about how everyone would love if we did that. All right, yeah, no problem. We'll do that. Hi, Epic. Good to hear from you. Hello. I hear you're a friend of Alieny. Your first super chat. Your friend Isabel is very sad from Goo's death in the new episode. Can you give them a Goo fun fact to cope? Sure. Goo really likes Scotch tape. Just a big fan of that kind of tape. I don't know if we could say that in an episode because I guess Scotch is technically a brand name. I don't know, but just like it's all sticky and fun. You could stick it onto things, or you could just pull it out, and just it'll keep pulling and pulling and pulling until then you can then tear it and then put it on something and then hang up a poster. It won't hang as well as like masking tape or painter's tape or whatever, but it's fun. It's fun. And it's easier to when you have a dispenser than some of these other rolls of tape. A fun fact about Meekintosh, he's your fave. Ah, well, he's a hallucination. What happened to Taco when MePhone paused season 2? That I explained earlier. Taco was frozen. I'm a bad writer. Can I have some tips? Okay. Don't just start with a blank page and try to actually write from beginning to end. Think about what are characters that you're interested in. Well, I guess think about what compels you the most about storytelling in the first place. Is it the characters? Is it the plot? Is it the world? Start with just writing notes on those things because that's easier. Jot down notes, have a document of them that you, or even if it's not all one big document, maybe that's too overwhelming for you to have a bunch of different notes. And then you could combine them later and then be like, okay, what's everything I have? And then you start taking what you have, and you start writing stuff. And it doesn't have to be from beginning to end because that can also be overwhelming. Write a scene that you could see fully formed in your mind. And then write what would happen before, what would happen after. It doesn't have to be directly before or directly after. You can kind of just jump around. And then maybe eventually you'll have something that has a beginning, middle, and end. And then you can massage it and figure it out and be like, okay, here's a way that it can really work and be like, and edited in a way that then everyone will love and you will be proud of. D is LGBT? D is LGBT. There you go. I mean, I was questioning at first because I was like, "Are you talking about like the D that I know or a different D?" I don't know. So I'll just say D is LGBT, and I guess then leave it at that. I'm not sure. But great. This question we answered. That's too. I am madly in love with you. Just so you know. Just so you know. Can I have both a Mike and Taco individual fact and then a fact of them together? Oh my goodness. It's a great dynamic in the show, Sai. I love them both so much. Oh my goodness. Okay. Individual facts. This is kind of 3 questions in one. I don't know if I can do this. Okay. Taco, I'm as kind of hinted at in this episode, is sort of interested in video games, or at least remembers them because she said, "Oh, Pickle used to love that game of the Spectre Spotters." So I think she's somewhat good at video games. Microphone, however, does not like video games. Microphone doesn't care at all about them. So I think when they did play video games, this is when Microphone was like, let's just play a board game. And then Taco was like, oh, if we're going to do a board game, then I'm going to trick you with this hourglass. The facts are coming together. Fact cinematic universe. Hi, Radiant. Or hi, Radiant, if you just want it from me, Brian. There you go. Will Life Ring show up? Life Ring guy loves Ring. Well, I mean, Life Ring was deleted as well, unfortunately. T. Layler, if it's not a spoiler, about how long was MePhone 4 working on II in canon? Or how long had it been between the end of II and his escape from Meeple? Not that long. He's a kid. He's impulsive. It's not like he took a year to work it out. I think it was just, I mean, MePhone even says like he was only a few months old. So it wouldn't have been more than a few months. Beelzebub, if Forrest was magically brought back in physical form, what would be the first thing he says or does to MePhone? He would say, "You son of a gun. What have you done?" What would Forrest think of the UGS regarding the war crimes? Forrest would say, "Listen, I haven't exactly had the best reputation, but there's a lot to be said about what you have done. It makes what I've done look like a walk in the park. And I'm not sure how to feel about that. Actually, I am sure how to feel about that. Very inferior and bad. How could you make me feel this way? No! Okay, one last thing in request. Can you meet from Forrest and Fan arguing over whether Fan is the biggest Inanimate Sandy fan or if my daughter Ashley is? Listen, Fan, you're the biggest fan of Inanimate Sandy. I can't believe I'm the one on the side of this, but just literally speaking, that's what you are. No. Christine's daughter, Ashley. Ashley over here beat me in a trivia competition. I have to admit it. I'm not just going to lie and say no, but your whole thing is that you're the biggest fan. If you're not the biggest fan of Inanimate Sandy, then who are you, Fan? Who are you? I don't know. Okay? I don't know. But all I will say is that Ashley is the biggest fan of Inanimate Insanity. I have to say it. I admit it. Okay? It's true. All of it. Okay, fine. You're not the biggest fan. Well, I wasn't that invested anyway. All right, congratulations, Ashley. You're the biggest fan of Inanimate Sandy. Raging homosexual. Are any of the characters bilingual? I need to know. First of all, great username. Second of all, Taco probably is, right? It's just not much of a... Oh, and Cabby, for sure. Will there be a 2025 meetup since I mean, can't speak to any meetup information, unfortunately. I know you're saying for me to please say yes and that you're begging, but I can't say. I'm sorry. I can't. Tommy Fanto, what is your favorite character dynamic to write? Microphone and Taco has always been fun, but Suitcase and Knife I've been looking forward to writing for so long, and I've treasured being able to write it and having written it for this 17th episode and kind of closing out their story. So that's the one I would say. Okay, some spoiler stuff. Can we hear the first two letters about Act 3? Okay, the first two spoken letters are IC, I believe. Letters I and C. Can you make the finale about me getting married to Steve Cobbs, please? Thanks. Okay, everyone, when I make the finale about Skippy being married to Steve Cobbs, and you're all like, why? That was a weird choice. Just know it was what Skippy wanted, okay? I answered this about PayJ. Meatpad didn't notice because he was off. Really want to know what Taco thinks of Test Tube or vice versa. Yeah, I mean, Taco did write off Test Tube. Taco was just like, yeah, she's made some gadgets, but I'm smarter than her. Test Tube, I don't think has given Taco much thought because Test Tube was angry at Microphone. I think the feelings that Test Tube had towards Microphone would have basically been applied towards Taco tenfold had she known about Taco at the time. Test Tube and Alfie's from Undertale be friends where they argue. I wish I knew Undertale better, then I would be able to tell you. I'd be able to answer this question. Everyone's going to hate me. Chat's going to hate me. Oh, well. It was nice having your respect while it lasted. What would a guidebook for Nam Insanity be like for you guys? That would be amazing. I would love if it was just MePhone's like book on how he made the show, like almost like his pitch Bible for himself. I just think it's so cool, the idea of like, yeah, it's like a scholastic book and you could order it through the. I loved doing that through the book fair, and then you would like write it down, and then you'd be able to get that book, and it was just so exciting. Yeah. Let's see what else. Is that something that people are interested in? It seems like based on the chat, people would be interested in that. The cops ever feed MePhone? I mean, he said he doesn't need food. MePhone thankfully would generate his own food, but yeah, cops like, hey, you don't need it, so whatever. Nad says, I made a post about being glad Silver Spoon doesn't die. Did you guys add that just to spite me? There was no reason for him to be there. Well, even if he wasn't there, he still would have been affected. And no, it wasn't just to spite you. Paper fun facts. Paper, Paper had been making a list of rules of what you can and can't do in the hotel. And finally, someone called him out on 2 rules contradicting each other of how there was no running allowed and no jogging, but also like even at one point he was just so tired and fed up with everything. He said he actually said no walking, and they were like, "What are we supposed to do?" He was like, fly, and then he tried to fly away, and did that thing that Paper does, where it's like phew, 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 air resistance, and just kind of landed back in front of everyone. It was really awkward. Stan Luna, trophy fact, trophy. Yeah, so Trophy met Cabby, and Trophy was like, huh, I'd like to see the file on myself. I bet it's full of interesting information. Then Cabby took it out, and it was like all dusty, and she had to go, and then opened it, and there's like, there's just like a spider, and there's like nothing. There's cobwebs. There's just like nothing in there other than that he's a jock and just not really good. Trophy was like, what? Is this some kind of sick joke? Gabby's like, oh, it's just I think that's it. I think that's everything. It's hurting me. The implication that the library, the symbol of everything Cabby loves, is gone. Thanks. Smiling face. You're welcome. If bot is real, is Test Tube's lab real? I mean, the lab was gone anyway. It was broken down for parts. So. Kirle. Brian, you don't get it. Unless there's an outright marriage scene where they proclaim their undying love for each other, it's never going to be enough for people. I see. Okay. Well, I guess it's never going to be enough for people. Fair enough. Is it true that toilet was a skibbity toilet in the past life? No, it wasn't. Hello, Leo. Look at this cool thing I found. Okay, Marvin. $20 just to say toy pad. Sure. I mean, why not? Will there be a baseball or OJ plus? Maybe. I should start saying no. Absolutely not. No. You know what? Because you asked, no. No, I mean, good idea. You realize you have to make fan tube and light brush canon in an episode for us to know if it's canon, right? I mean, again, I feel like it's just like the characters need to kiss, so they need to get married in order for you to see that they're like engaged. Or like, I don't know. I understand, but I also, I don't know. Well, JR paper plushie. Okay, well we're gonna use what we learned from last time and say no, never. What kind of food do you think Cobbs would like? No, and maybe. What kind of food do you think Cobbs would like? Steak. Do you plan on posting Balloon and Cabby's exit interviews before or after episode 18? Do you all still care? Do you still care? I want to know. The Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween, or Christmas movie? Okay, this is what we all came to talk about. I honestly do see it as a Halloween movie. Just because I feel like the vibe and aesthetic is so much more Halloween-y. So, I mean, when I went to finally see it in theaters for the first time in theaters a while back, it was at Halloween time. It's crazy because Christmas is in the title, but I don't know. To me, it's just a Halloween movie. Just how I feel. That's just how I feel personally. But hey, you know what? You can kind of watch it at Halloween, Thanksgiving, or Christmas, and it'll make sense. So that's pretty powerful. What does Paper think of Evil Paper now? Yeah, I don't know. I think he's reevaluating his thoughts about, like, was it really evil, or was that sort of a reductive way to look at it? As we see, based on the fact that he says to MePhone that was kind of a reductive thing. Because then, I mean, can he necessarily blame MePhone for that? It's all very confusing. What is fans' favorite color? Green. Okay, this I answered about the guidebook. You want to see Nickel and Balloon together again? Well, I mean, you saw a little bit of it. Do you have any hamster weirdness? Do you have any regrets while making the show? Like stuff you wish you had done differently, etc. Whew. I mean, I wasn't as formally involved early in season 1, so I can't really speak to that. And it's also like, I mean, it's middle school, so like, what can you do? So I don't know if I could really answer in regards to there. I don't know. I think any creator is going to feel like that they would want to go back and do things to tweak stuff to just make everything perfect from beginning to end. I would have liked to find a way to do more to, like, kind of seed in Cobbs earlier and not just, like, being mentioned, like, maybe, like, appearances somewhat. But I also acknowledge that, like, it's kind of hard to do that. I mean, it's hard to have him interact with the contestants at least so many times without it losing its power. But yeah, I feel like that's a tricky thing when it comes to building up the big antagonist, because you don't want to, have them, like, face off and, like, lose or something multiple times. But yeah, I mean, obviously we have a different case here because, like, he won in a sense. I mean, he kind of didn't, because he still, like, he didn't get the egg energy he wanted, but he also, I mean, the heroes lost, so there is that. What are your thoughts on Knife Case? I mean, these are characters that, while I wouldn't be setting up to be in a romantic relationship, I totally understand why people are seeing them that way, and I think that's cool. I certainly wouldn't stop them from looking at them that way. Tube is wife material. Just saying, just so you know. Fax machine. Why do you scream so loud in the car? Poor Justin. For the bit. For the bit. Sometimes you gotta do stuff for the bit. Gaty BFDI. Cool taco fact, please. Taco. Let's see. Taco has been fixing to mix around her fixins for a while. I don't know. Wouldn't that be interesting if, like, she kind of, like, shuffled around the ingredients within her just to see if anyone notices? And if they do, then they win a little prize. They're like, oh, someone's been paying attention. I like when people are astute. I don't know. It's a stupid one. No. I don't. I mean, I think it would be more of, like, yeah, just a way to test people's intelligence and attention to detail skills. That's what I would say. Silly question, but in Purgatory Mansion, do you think it was cold there? Like, were the girls okay? I always wonder about their daily lives. I mean, in terms of their day-to-day life there, I mean, obviously they enjoyed it. I think they were having a great time. Marshmallow seemed very content, as did Apple. Bo and Doe vibing too. It seemed like everything improved once they were all together and they were off the show. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely gone past the 9:15 cutoff on these messages, so these are all bonuses at this point. So maybe what I'll do here. in 5 minutes, maybe we'll take a quick break and then come back and finish off some last ones. But once again, yeah, it was a 9:15 cutoff. So anything after this is just gravy. Yeah. Okay. Was me, but thank you for the donation, Axel. Was MePhone X's only purpose to eliminate? Must know. I mean, essentially, yes. Brian, when any character listen to Tally Hall, I think it's probably Lightbulb. Unfortunately, Lightbulb is gone. Hello, Brian. What 3 eliminations or vote to save votes from any of the Inanimate seasons were the most surprising for you guys? Soap was surprising. I feel like and then the 2 other ones would be Yin Yang. That Yin Yang was quite that popular. Was surprised. Honestly, that's probably all 3 in Invitational. Like, that was wild. Hi, Brian. Did you or anyone on the team have any experience with making ARG gameplay, or was it made up as he went along? That is full credit to Adam on that. Adam did an awesome job with it. I don't really know how much. I mean, obviously, we were aware of like the Cypher Hunt or things like that. I don't know if he has more experience with that kind of thing. I certainly would not have been able to make it to any level to which he was able to create it. So it was certainly something that required a lot of thought and planning. So definitely not just a let's make it up as we go along type thing. Wait, Mars, Apple, and Bo have a band together, right? I'm not going insane, right? If so, do they play heavy metal or pop rock or something else? I must know. I think they played a wide variety of things. I think, if you asked D about this, D would have some great answers. Hi, Nicole. Go Indonesia. Brian, stop, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what this was even referencing. Hi to Nix and hi to Tori. I'll say his fan as well. Hi, Nix. Hi, Tori. Thanks, Dale's Epic Adventures, for the donation. Spare a fun fact about FanTube for us, Mr. Koch. Sure thing. I think Fan has been teaching TestTube about collectibles, like merchandise, like that kind of like movie replica type things. TestTube's taking notes because TestTube, it was more about like, inventions and whatnot and things that have a functional use, a functional purpose. These replicas, it's like, what is the use of it? But they seem to make Fan happy, and that's reason enough to have them. Or at least it was something they were looking into before they both died. This I answered. Hi, Axel. Not about the latest episode. Sorry, you've been asked this a million times. No problem at all. What was your favorite episode of season 3? Well, I'm biased because this is one that I wrote, but one that has a very special place in my heart is Out of Body Experience. I just am really proud of how Bot's story comes into play in that episode. Yeah, I mean, I think it just, I really like all of the characters' arcs. I like how it all kind of coalesces. Everyone, I think, has a fun part to play. I always love, even if it's funny because I feel like body swap episodes aren't even something I'm usually drawn to, but it was the idea of like taking the body swap concept and turning it into like, oh, well, this is sort of a comment on dysphoria, so to speak. Like, it was a meditation on that, and like, trans allegory, and like I just thought that would be like great territory to explore, and to also combine that with a trope that I love, which is such a cheesy trope, but like a great one of like, oh, the critic is here and we got to please the critic, everyone be on their best behavior. I always just found that so fun. So to like combine that with a body swap, which is so inherently chaotic, I felt like was just a great little recipe. So yeah, that's my invitational masterpiece, if I do say so humbly myself. Folder, you're such a Sigma. Is Toilet and Meepad gay for each other? Look, I mean, it's up to interpretation. If you want to see that, then by all means. That's just Jazzy already, but are Nickel and Balloon making out in heaven or hell? Neither. Hi, Brian. Could I get a paper fact per chance? Paper found out that Cherries has made like those like puppets of everyone except for Paper. And Paper was well, at first Paper was annoyed about the puppets and having to like clean them up and pick them up when like Cherries wouldn't like would leave them around on the floor. Then Paper realized there's no Paper puppet. And Paper was like, "What the heck?" And Cherries was like, "I thought you didn't like the puppets." It's like, "But where's my puppet? Where's my puppet? Where is it?" Oh my gosh. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. So I will take a quick break just to get some water. But I guess I'll come back and try to wrap up some more. But again, I think it's just any questions that have come in. How many more are there? There's still so many more. Oh my gosh. I'll get to as many as I can. I'll get to as many as I can, but I gotta take a little break. I gotta take a little break. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, hello again. All right, let me jump back in. All right, talked about test tube and Clover facts, and the entire cast who's jumping for the beef. Would they make it? Okay, yeah, the reference to. I love this. Hmm. Cheesy definitely is. Cheesy doesn't understand the stakes, so Cheesy's just gonna be like, haha, I can get it. Get it? uh-huh. Is Fan more of a cat or dog person? Fan doesn't really know about either existing, so. Also in the Me Life app, Taco's icon doesn't have lettuce or tomatoes. Bald taco? I think it's just because those icons are more minimalist. Does Blueberry listen to... I don't know what that is. What books would baseball like reading? Well, he liked reading about where babies came from, but was it so accurate to where they actually came from? I don't know. If Cobbs had a biological child, would he be a good father? No, definitely not. Definitely not. In universe, how much of I-16-17 do viewers see? Probably not much. I mean, I think they saw MePhone's introduction, and they've seen Cobbs' introduction and the final challenge. So they've seen 2 times where it's been like, welcome to the not to be interrupted finale. I don't know. I think it's been a lot of chaos. Klein says, I know romantic fantube is popular, but I like that they're clearly the most important people in each other's lives, not explicitly romantic. Thanks for that. It's too rare in media. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, it's cool to portray a relationship on that level. I'd like to see more of it too. Okay, for us, words of encouragement. Yeah, some words of encouragement for you, MePhone 4. I mean, I know I'm hard on you sometimes, but you also have done a lot of good. Probably, allegedly. I've heard from other secondhand sources. So, keep it up. Keep your chin up. I know you don't have much of a chin, but it's there if you look. If you look hard enough, I can see it. I know you pretty well. Then you can do it. I know you can. How would season 2 have gone if Taco did win the money in season 1? Yeah, she would have been like, yeah, ha, 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 ha. I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far. Yeah, I mean, would have been. I mean, I guess MePhone still would have been able to go ahead. I mean, he would have been all the more motivated to get going quickly. He would have been like, ugh. My family yelled at me for using my last money. No, now you use the money. No, we're more to sing the Gummy Bear songs. Okay. Hold on. Oh, I'm a gummy bear. Yes, I'm a gummy bear. Oh, no, you know what? I am not the gummy bear, nor am I a jelly bear. I'm a grumpy bear. I'm an angry bear. Oh no, because I refuse. I'm not doing this anymore. Take off the mic. I know I have the lav mic on. I do not love this lav mic. Get it off of me. No. Out of the studio. I'm sorry about that. That's as much as we could get. I'm really sorry. Are any of the IIBFDI meetup announcement videos canon? Probably not, but they can be if you want them to be. Would Clover have a garden full of cute flowers that she would sit near and admire? Hi, my money is slowly fading away. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, she would. How much does Testy like film photography? III. Yeah, I mean, yes, like she prefers analog, as she said. So yeah, I think she enjoys it quite a bit. She's a stickler for the originals. That much is true. Yeah, that blaring alarm goes hard, I do have to say. Fun fact about Test Tube. Oh my gosh! Yeah, it was awesome meeting you at the Florida meetup. But yeah, no, your cosplay was great. The telescope prop. Oh yes, no, I remember you. Oh my goodness. Fun fact about Test Tube for you. Yeah, I mean, in terms of making, that makeshift cannon between the telescope and then the paralyzer and all that coming together. What I like to think about that is that test tube, it wasn't even like a pre-planned or really premeditated thing. It just shows how resourceful she can be in a single solitary second when it comes down to protecting those she cares most about. I don't think that was even a thought in her mind that she could combine the two like that, but she just in an instant was like, I need to work with what I have, and she made something happen. Pretty amazing, if I do say so myself. Let's see. Oh yeah, someone else said sell plushies with detachable limbs and faces so that fans can recreate their favorite moment from I-17. Yeah, I love that idea. I think that's what we should do, right, everybody? Oh, I'm seeing again just a flood of enthusiasm. All these happy emojis in the chat. Wow, thanks everybody. Yes, yes. What kind of fashion accessories would Suitcase like? Like what kind of colors and fabrics? Ooh. I mean, I think just like different ribbons, I would say. Like a red ribbon, I think is really great. I would suggest that. Silly fun fact about Nickel and Balloon together. Yeah, Balloon's been practicing his poetry to Nickel, and Nickel, in order to be a good friend, has had to sit through all of it. Tissue's fact, perhaps one of your faves, very underrated. Tissue's not just sneezing, also recently tripped and hurt himself. Yeah, I mean, not a fun fact, but you did just ask for a fact, so. In I-17, why'd the MePhone X light sort of fade away from Lightbulb's face when she was going to be deleted? I mean, I think it just happened a little bit slower. Obviously, as we know, since it's sort of toilet simulator thinking-wise, it's not necessarily the most efficient deletion process because he doesn't even realize that's what he's doing. He's just kind of going about it in such a way that he's like, oh, I'm trying to help them. I'm doing what I can. But they just keep yelling at me and I keep getting a game over. So let me try again. So I think maybe he was trying to handle it more delicately that time. You know if the inner flame was ever prime Shimmer related. Thanks for all that you do. One way or another, can't answer that question. Can't confirm or deny. Cobb show MePhone for comfort. What do you feed him? Not really. Do you think Taco's silly personality in season 1 was in any part genuine, or at least something she enjoyed doing? Also, Brian, I'm billing you for my therapy. I think she enjoyed it somewhat. Otherwise, she wouldn't have gone with that. She wouldn't have gone with that as a strategy. But it certainly grew taxing for her after a while. Does Balloon speak Spanish? I headcan him as Argentinian. Casa de Globo. That's funny. I mean, yeah, I clearly has some. Oh, I'm glad that voice request made you and Ashley very happy. Awesome. Would MePhone and MePad ever reconcile? I don't know, Bills a Buns. It seems like it was kind of a burnt bridge. We're 2 games in, of course, but who's baseball got in the World Series? I'd say New York Yankees. Let's go. Let's see it happen. It's all about the Yankees. Yeah, it's about the Yankees. Is ballpoint pen in any relation to Cobb's? Seems like he was maybe inspired by Cobb's. Take that however you will. Always been interested by Paper and MePhone's dynamic. How do they feel about each other, given their history? Well, as we see now, Paper is really not happy with MePhone. So there is that. Yeah. MePhone, I think, wants what's best for Paper at this point. It's not just about, oh, they'll think of the lawsuits. think he kind of wants what's best for all the contestants, but it's too late for that, as we know. If it's anything about MePad, I think MePad from time to time would check in on the mansion. He wouldn't actually go in and see Marshmallow, but he'd just kind of look from afar, look through the window, see that all was okay. There wasn't, a ton of time for him to do that, but there was a little bit of time in terms of how fast the episodes happened one after the other. Suitcase get along with any of the II newbies? She probably would have. It's too bad that she was frightened by their mere existence, the mere existence of the series. Was ballpoint pen made from me life? Strokes chin. I don't. Suitloon facts. Suitcase and balloon. Now, Suitcase actually enjoys hearing poetry from Balloon. She is moved by it. Just saying. Clover fun facts. Please, I need sleep. Okay, well, so you can get sleep. Clover, if she did not have 4 leaves, she would not be so lucky now, would she? When and where was Bot created? In Hotel OJ, but not fully finished. Was kind of taken on the ship with them. This is stuff that maybe was going to be more explained, and we realized it didn't really need to be in order to further serve the story. But it's kind of a project that, they took with them. They didn't want to just leave out in the open, even if they were going on a temporary trip. Do you like robots? Of course I do. I don't know if you're talking about robots in general or robots the Blue Sky film, but sure, yes, either way. Okay, Limon really cares about Balloon's exit interview. Noted. All right, we're in these last 10 minutes of the super chats. I'm going to try to get through them. HOTTOGO, you can take me hard to go out to the studio because I'm not doing this again. Test tube's favorite color is red. Would Libo use crayons or colored pencils to draw? Both, but mainly crayons. Thank you, Buggerford Jones. You want to let me know that as an aspiring writer, you admire my ability to crush souls and devastate. Crushed mine with that test tube question. Crush yours with the test tube question. You want to be like me one day? Well, I mean, that really means a lot. I mean, I think you should try to be like you. Be the version of you out there that's going to write in the way that makes you excited. What about Marshbow? What about Marshbow? Whatever you want with them, you can have. Are there any other real objects besides cobs from Pixie Valentine? Yes. Did MePhone make painting non-binary because he thought it'd be funny? No. Can Yin Yang be in Fantastic Features? It's over and they're dead. Not thanks. If the egg was part of MePhone 4, then how could downgrade MePhone 4S generate new characters? Was the egg factually part of MePhone 4? And if so, is there an explanation? Simple question. Is Bo... Bo is dead. What's Gabby's favorite color? Who's Gabby? Oh, I guess you mean Gabby. I think Gabby likes the color of herself. I mean, she did make a library in that kind of vibe. Tell us Taco Angst. Oof. Yeah, I think Taco did try to communicate to Microphone how much she means to her in the last moments before she knew that probably that plug was going to get unplugged. Okay, and then last question from Limon. Well, before I read this, I just want to thank everybody. There are some that are spoiler questions, some that I maybe wouldn't know how to answer because either I'm not educated or what, or some that maybe I've answered already, or I don't know. Just if they, I got to as many as I could, but yeah, it's just like I even extended the cutoff quite a bit. I'll try to even look through to see. Let me just see. People were saying, yeah, that the streams were so comforting. I appreciate that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I think we're actually in a pretty good place with all of this. No, and it's no trouble at all. But wait, what? Stream has been compromised. Don't look behind you, Brian. What? What are they talking about? Oh. Oh. Wait. No.